Hey, have you ever been broken up with? Have you ever been broken up with? And just found it very difficult to deal with life after the breakup, whether we're talking about a breakup, whether we're talking about a divorce, whether we're talking about just the end of a relationship. Have you ever been broken up with and you just did not know, you just do not know how to get over a breakup or divorce? If that's the case, this is for you. This is for you. I'm gonna give you 10 pieces of information. I'm gonna give you three plus seven, so that you can know what to do. I'm gonna tell you the three things that keep us stuck, and then I'm gonna give you the seven phases of grief in a breakup so that you can not only deal with breakup and loss better, but you can actually love again and you can get unstuck. So I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you're spending this time with me. Typically I do this live at a different time, but I was not feeling well. But this was so on my spirit. God gave me the energy to talk about these breakups because depending on where you're watching this at the beginning of the year or later in the year, this is difficult. This is difficult. So I'm excited about it. I'm glad that you're here. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you can get these to your inbox, and make sure you get notifications. So let's dive in. So I've been broken up with, or I've broken up with someone. I had relationships break in my life. How many of you? Drop it in the chat, right? And I can't remember a time where it was not difficult. Now, some were more difficult than others. Have you ever had something that break you to your core? Like part of your identity is like you don't even want to imagine life without the person that you were with because y'all were a thing, y'all were an item. You might have even been officially an item. You might have been Mr. and Mrs. People know that, right? And so I see some of you listening at work. I appreciate that, right? And so yeah, y'all are raising y'all hands. So we've been there. But what's missing is what the heck we're supposed to do after the breakup. Because what I see as a Christian clinical psychologist is that breakup sometimes can put us in such a dark space, such a deep hole that we use that those one or two experiences and we can't move on forward. And we let what happened with our ex, right, impact what could potentially be a blessing in the future, right? Because it's just hard to move forward. All right, so let's talk about it, y'all. And we're gonna make this interactive, right? We'll make this interactive, okay? Um, and and if you want to be on video, I might be open to it today. I don't know how you request that. It should be on YouTube or whatever it is, and you blink it in there that we can answer your question. But here's the three things I want you to look out for, right? We said we're gonna do three plus seven. All right. Number one, there's three P's that keep us stuck when it comes to grief. So they did this study and they said, why is it some people can go through breakups and be fine in 6 months to a year and go on and date again and love again and get married again, whereas someone else can go through the same type of breakup and they don't want to date again because they feel like this is how men's going to treat them, this is how women are going to treat them, this is how people do you, or they feel like this would happen again. Why would I set myself up? Yes, I don't want to be, no, I don't want to be lonely, but I'm not trying to get hurt again. Y'all been there? Y'all been there? It's the three P's. Three P's. All right. Number one is personalization. All right. And so the work of Dr. Martin Seligman looked at the three P's that keep people stuck. And the first one is personalizing it. All right. Hey, Mimi, I see y'all checking in. The friends, I see y'all checking in. All right. Bill checking in. Y'all got it. Okay. All right. So first one is personalized. Let me give high energy, right? Right. So personalized is like, you know what? Me times a relationship equals failure. Me times a relationship equals failure. Why do women do me like this? Why are they dishonest? Why am I the one that has to be truthful? Why am I the one that has to apologize? Why am I the one that has to be the MVP in a relationships? Why do I keep attracting slackers? All right, that's a good example, right? Have you been there? Like me, why do I get dogged out? Why do they pick me to dog out? Why do they pick me to lie to? Why do they pick me to use? Why do they pick me to say that they want to do one relationship? My emotions are in it, and then they go the other way. They go the other way. All right. So I need you to switch that, because if you make it personal, now granted, it happened to you personally, But if you make it personal indefinitely, like me times any relationship is gonna be failure, either because the other person I'm gonna attract is gonna be bad, or I'm gonna do something to sabotage this, or I'm gonna do the or people are not gonna respect me. I'm always gonna be the one taken advantage of. You've doomed yourself for a life. And why the heck would we get into a relationship feeling like it's us? And sometimes that happens when we have trauma from the past and we've been through it over and over and over again. We start looking at, well, who's the common denominator? Me, right? And it's a way to control it, but we block our blessings. And we serve a God. We see never seen the righteous forsaken. So that means that if we're righteous, if we're close to God, we're trying to do the right thing. Not be Christ. We're not perfect. I'm trying to do right by you, boy. I'm trying to do right by you, girl. Trying to do right by you, babe. I just need you to do right by me. We keep doing that. We pick someone else who's righteous. By and large, we're gonna be all right. Eventually, over time. All right. So the answer to that, instead of personalizing it, what I need us to do is depersonalize it. We need to look and say, okay, all right, did I just pick badly? All right. No disrespect to Future, but Sierra picked badly when she started dating Future, right? Because Future didn't want monogamy. Right? He said that. So she just picked wrong, right? We pick wrong. And so is there anything wrong with Sierra? No, she just picked the wrong partner. So why would she personalize it? And so she's able to go through dates, whatever date she had, whatever private situation she had, until she found Russell Wilson, who's someone that wanted to have a committed relationship after his own heartbreak with his own wife. Does that make sense? So then we're able to say, hey, you know what? There's nothing wrong with me. I just need to pick better, and we all pick wrong, or sometimes people change. Like we pick right and then they change, or they just were immature, or this is just life. That's just the cards that we were dealt, or sometimes it's us. And if it is us, we can say, you know what, I can change. I can be more considerate. I can be more attentive. I can be more loving. I can be less selfish. I can set higher criteria and standards before I start liking a sister or a brother. I can ask, are you good at relationships? Like, do you know how to love? Are you faithful? Are you kind? Are you compassionate? Do you apologize? Do you have relationship skills? Do you know how to converse when you're upset versus shutting down for 9 days? Or if you do shut down, can you come to me and say, write a letter, write a text, put it on a sticky note or something saying the brother or sister struggling, right? Can I do things to set the bar higher for myself, like a bank sets credit score? The credit score will deal with you. Can I set that as a relationship score that you need to have so we're on the same page? Bam. All right. So I don't have to say me times relationship equals failure. Y'all got it? Y'all got, so that's the first P we want to avoid when we start talking about a breakup. It'll keep you right. Someone said, are you an honest person? And a lot of people say people are gonna lie, but you can tell when someone's lying. Your discernment is gonna tell, that's just how they move. When they said it, an honest person is gonna say yes and then why, and then you're gonna be able to watch their actions and you're gonna see they're probably brutally honest, right? And then there's someone else that's gonna say, sure, I'm honest, and then you're gonna see that their words and their actions don't align. And then all I need to focus on is what I see, not what I hear. All right. Number two, second P is pervasiveness, right? Pervasiveness is where there's this feeling like, you know what, this is going to affect every area of my life. You know what? Because I had daddy issues, that's going to be pervasive in stopping me from having a great relationship with a man because I have daddy issues, right? I have mom issues. I didn't have intimacy from my mom. Maybe that's your scenario. And you say, hey, you know what? If I don't trust my mom, how can I trust a woman? All right. Well, you know what? Because the first two boyfriends were unfaithful to me or dishonest, then that's going to be my life. That's going to be how it is. People just don't want to be honest with me forever. It's going to affect every other area of my life. People just sleep on me, whether it's at work, whether it's family, whether it is relationships. Can you see how pervasiveness can keep us stuck? So we want to avoid that. And then number three, permanence, right? Because I got a divorce or because I broke up and I'm 43 and I'm 50 and I'm 31 or I'm 22 and I haven't had a boyfriend yet, I'm permanently going to be like this because I'm not good at relationships. Come on now. Am I talking to you? Am I keeping it real? Like if you had those three P's, can you see how those three P's can just break into your brain, all right, and just destroy things? Because all right, it's me, and so either it's who I pick, and I pick bad people all the time, right, or it's them and they pick me and I'm doomed to only be with people that don't want a commitment. I'll leave Future and go right to Nick Cannon and go right to Carmelo Anthony, right? No disrespect to those brothers, but all three of them are on the books and saying they don't want to settle down right now, right? And so I pick these brothers who do not serve me well, right? Pervasiveness is this is gonna affect it's everything. This is just me times anything. It's gonna affect my whole world, and then permanently I'm gonna be like this. Let's throw those in a trash can and replace them with, hey, it's not personal. I can change things. I can be a different person, right? And I can pick different people too. Pervasiveness. Let's just be local to that one dude. I had a problem in that one particular area with that relationship. What happened then has nothing to do with now. And then permanence. Hey, everyone kisses some frogs. Everyone goes through heartbreak. Look at Fantasia. She went through years and years and years and years until she finally found the one. They seem to have an amazing, amazing relationship. There are a lot of people, especially here in America, across the world, who are just getting married later, right? They're getting married later in life, right? And so they got it. All right. But how many of you know? I promise you three. I'm gonna give you seven. How many of y'all know that there's actually seven stages to grief in a breakup? All right, we know you may or may not know that there is a grief process, my friends. There is a grief process when it comes to grief and loss and death. But you know that there's another process of what happens when it comes to grieving a breakup. And we're going to go over all seven. And I'm going to take your questions and we're going to be good. All right. Number one, the first step. If you want to know these tips, type, give me these seven steps. Give me these seven stages so that I can find where I am, identify it, and I cannot be stuck. I can heal versus be stuck. Let me know that you want that. Type that in. I don't care if you're watching this in real time. I don't care if you're watching this later. Let me know. Let me know how to get. All right. So, number one, all right, I see y'all are saying yes. Let me know. Number one, you're desperate for answers. You're desperate for answers. You're desperate. That's the first thing. How did this happen? What happened? All right. I see y'all already comment. At least you're gonna get it. Iris, you're gonna get Eris, you're gonna get it, right? Or Miss Holly, you're gonna get it, right? So the drive to know what the heck happened is consuming. And you'll find yourself like fixating things on your ex said to see if it's contradicting the breakup. It's like, okay, it's just like it's like it's did I do something? Are they going through a phase? Is this what is this? Like, I need to know like what happened. How long has this been going on? Like, did you play me from the beginning, or is this something I need to overcome? And you just need to get data. And so there's pain, there's disorganization, there's confusion, and this can become all that you think about. This can become consuming. Everyone been there. You sit around and you just shocked. Like, how am I actually having to change my relationship status on Facebook and Instagram? How am I having to take my ring off? How am I actually have to able to talk to attorneys? How do I actually have to tell my girlfriends and my homies we're not together anymore, and then tell them why? And what about when they don't give me a reason why? We just break up and they give me some bogus or some confusing answer like you're not the one, or this is not it, I'm not feeling it anymore, or it's time, or we grew apart and you didn't see it. All right, I just want to let you know that first phase, right, is real. And so glad that I've been there. I don't want to be there, but I'm so glad I've been there, so that this is not just intellectual. You just like, I need to know what the heck happened. I just want to let you know that it's normal. It is typically now these phases that I tell you, they don't have to become in order. They can flip flop. You can go forward and backwards. One can happen before another, but usually the first one is you're desperate for answers. And then number two is denial. This ain't happening. This is not real. He's gonna come to his senses and call me. Or they're gonna admit that they're doing something they shouldn't do, even though I caught them. And then they're gonna come to me and say, "Hey, I devalue you. I'm depressed. I need to work through some things. I have some bad habits. Right? This cannot be over with my ex. This is not over. This is just a bad day. It's a bad day. It's a bad week. Right? It's a bad season. But this is not it. You know how long we've been together? Right? We have children together, we have a house together, we have pictures on the Instagram together, right? We still have movie tickets next week that I purchased. Come on, this cannot be over. You mean I have to go to single again? Come on. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No. No, 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 no. right? And I see someone saying, I'm still trying to get over my divorce from 2020. So that's 4 years ago, depending on when you're watching this. After 30 years, it was 30 years together. I'm so ready. I don't like it. I don't like it, but it should have ended 15 years ago. Sometimes we stay in something hoping that it would change. And I commend you. I commend you on shifting, because we can have a certain sorriness. Like, if we stay with someone, it's just going to be certainly mediocre. It's going to be certainly good for 7 days, followed by catastrophe. We're going to have a good 3 months, followed by a big major blow up, year after year after year. No one wants to just be average, mediocre, or parentally stressed. And matter of fact, a toxic relationship takes 10 to 12 years of our life. And we can see why, because of the cortisol. So I'm glad that you moved on, as painful as it was. And we're going to push through this thing together. Yes, we are. So the first step is desperate for answers. Two is denial. It's okay. All right. Every like a lot of your energy goes into trying to save this thing. You're trying to save it. Like, all right, what can I do? What can I do? All right, then number three. I'm just letting you know this is normal. I want y'all to kind of like woo-saw right now. Whew, I thought I was crazy. I thought it was me. These are normal stages of grief. Number three, bargaining. This is where you bargain. You're like, all right, I'll be better. I'll be more attentive. I'll be sexier. I'll make more money. I won't interrupt as much. I'll be home more. I'll let you win the arguments. It's just please, baby, please. I'll do anything to make it right. And either you're bargaining with your ex, or you're bargaining in your head. All right, you're bargaining here. Now, some of you do this, some of you don't. I don't want you to say, I never went to that bargaining. When it was over, it was over. I did the bargaining while I was in it, whatever it is, or I never went through that, right? But I just want to give you the general stages. So you're not logical right now. You're just kind of going through like habits, is what we used to do. Let's just work this out. So, like, you cling to like hope that's unrealistic. Because what you're thinking about is that I don't want to lose what I once had. I don't want to go back to start in Monopoly, right? I don't want to start all the way over. I don't want to go all the way back down the ladder, put my profile back up. I don't want to tell people I'm single. I don't want to go to church by myself, right? I don't want to have a conversation with the kids, right? And someone said those conversations in your head are a beast. They are. And that's when they help you to have the right conversation so that you know how to progress. Right. So we talked about at the very beginning is not personalizing this, not making this. Um, we make this local. This is local to the person that you were dating in that season. It has nothing to do with the kind of relationship you're going to have now or in the future. And then we're not going to make this permanent. Like, everyone breaks up at some point and people get back together. Yes, they do, with someone better. Right? Right. Yeah, you find yourself changing for him and not yourself. Right? Change, no, because then you lose yourself. Anyone ever lost themselves in a relationship? And I'm raising my hand, not to get you to raise your hand. Have you ever changed things? You just change yourself because your partner couldn't change, and you say, "Look, I'm just gonna be the MVP, and I want this to work so badly." And then you look in the mirror and you can't even recognize yourself. You can't even recognize yourself. Like, who is this person? I can't even have an opinion. I'm going to see romantic comedies all the time, and I don't even like romantic comedies. I find myself cooking when I really want to do 50-50. I'm planning all the dates when they're doing nothing. You don't even recognize yourself. Like, you can even be embarrassed. Like, why am I doing this for this person? Because we're so like a drug. We're so addicted to this person because of this love, or this lust, or this like, or this habit, or whatever. Or we just don't want to be alone. It's gonna be so many different reasons that we can't break apart. We can't break apart, and so we start bargaining. I don't want you to do that. All right. And then number four, all right, the fourth phase is like relapse, because the pain is so intolerable. You might even try to convince yourself to get back with your ex. Now, you've drawn the line. They have disrespected you beyond disrespect. They have dishonored the relationship. It's not fun. It's not good for you. Your family doesn't like it. Your friends who have your best interest saying, no, girl, no, homie, this not it. This not it. Don't do that. Even you saying, I will never go through a relationship and be disrespected, right? You're going to act one way around me and then be totally different. Or when I tell you how I feel, I tell you my stuff, my issues, you use it against me. No, no, no. Over and over again, when I tell you to chill, I tell you I want to be happy in a relationship, and you say, "Oh well, it's not about you, it's about me," and I'm supposed to stay in that. Mm. But the pain is so hard. You just try to work it out anyway. Just kind of like just bump it, erase it. I just whatever. I just don't go away. I don't want to be divorced. I don't want to downgrade. I don't want to tell the kids. I don't want to tell mom and them. I don't want to be single. I don't want to go through another holiday by myself. I want to be in the pajamas, even though we're fake and dysfunctional. I want to be in the pajama picture. I want to go to Valentine's Day and smile at dinner or act like, I'll go to Valentine's Day and act like, yeah, I don't care about Valentine because you say it's a commercial holiday and you're not really loving me 365. And why can't you love me on Valentine's Day if I like it? So, what is a commercial holiday? I like to feel sexy and loving and kind. I mean, like you're kind to me and special. And I like flowers and dinner and plays and chocolates. And if you don't like those things, I would at least like for you to give me a nice card, make love to me, run the bubble bath, do something to make me feel special because I like feeling special on the day or I like that day. But you're like, you know what? I don't need Valentine's Day. It's just commercial and you relapse, you do anything you can. However, despite your best efforts, you will not be able to carry the relationship solo. It only gets worse. Have you been there? I've doubled down. I've tried to be the LeBron James and the Oprah Winfrey of a relationship only for the person to slack more. They slack more, fam. If you could get an F and go to a U or an F to an F minus, if you could get a 30 in a relationship and go to getting a seven, that's what I did. I created because I did more. Right. So if I was doing it was 70 30, I said, all right, and the relationship was work. I did 80, I did 90 because I'm a fixer and I don't quit and I'm resilient and I'm trying to do the best. You ever been there? You take that resilient part of you. How many of you don't quit? You don't give up on love. You weren't built that way. And then you end up looking like I'm the only one working. I'm the only one working. I'm at the restaurant cooking, cleaning, buying the food, stacking the food up, unloading the truck, serving customers, coming up with the menu, doing the marketing, doing the reels, and then you sitting over there on your phone, fam, getting half the money. No, no, ma'am, no, ma'am, no, sir. Y'all can tell I'm in it, right? So it does what. So it's gonna be a relapse. That's why I describe it as a relapse, and I just want you to know that you're not crazy. Right? Because you can say, "Oh, am I crazy? Am I weak? Do I have low self-esteem? Am I psycho?" No, you were in love with someone and detoxing from them creates withdrawal. And I want you to normalize this. I want you to understand. And for those of you that's been in marriages 25 years, 20 years, 10 years, it's okay. I want you to have self-compassion that it's not supposed to be easy to walk away from someone, even when the situation is dysfunctional, right? Because you're used to them. It's like being used to crack. Crack is dysfunctional. I say I can't relate. I ain't never been on crack, right? It's like you getting used to getting rid of alcohol, getting rid of sugar. Sugar and salt not good for us, but you need to put that salt in that orange. You need to get that donut. You need to get that cookie, even though you pre-diabetic, you diabetic. I need it. Love is the same way because when we come off it, we have withdrawal effects, and it leads us to relapse. And you're not crazy. You've just been in love, and it's going to take you time to get out of it. And I want you to understand that, yes, it's like death. It's like a drug addiction. And it is. It is the death of the relationship, death of the marriage, death of the engagement, death of the family. Mama being mama because you realize she can't do it. Dad can't do it. They're not capable being what you need. And so you relapse into trying it as one last grasp. Let me see if LeBron James can score 100 points all by himself. Let me see if it's Oprah. I can carry everyone with all the money. I can solve all the world's problems with my money. And it only makes people loaf. It only makes them slack even more, and you get worse. All right, y'all feeling this? All right, y'all feeling this? I'm giving y'all my everything, y'all, today, right? All right, and then number five, all right, and I was explaining this to a dear friend yesterday, right? Is that it's anger. Like anger, someone says they're angry in a breakup, I'm smiling. And you say, why? Because we've gotten to phase number five, right? Because anger is a protective emotion. It says you can't do that to me. Hold up, I remember I matter too. I'm straight up loyal to you. There was many a nights where I brothers propositioned me. Brothers look at you ladies that are watching this all the time. You don't tell us, but you don't have a lack for men who are interested in you. Some of them even in a relationship. All right, you don't have a lack for men wanting you. Am I right or wrong, sister? You don't have a lack, and things weren't going well for you in a relationship either. Things weren't going well in your life, but you ain't step out here in these streets. Even my gentleman out there, you're like, look, I wanted to say certain things to you too. I wanted to go off on you too. I want to tell you where to go too, but because I'm in a relationship with my better half, we become one flesh if we're married, or because I'm your protector, or because I'm the male and I'm your protector, right? I'm just not gonna say the first things that come to my mind like you do to me. I'm not gonna chop you up like you chop me up. I'm gonna hold on to it. Say I don't want to say anything I regret. Let's take a time out and talk about it tomorrow. But no, you're gonna tell me how didn't make love to you well. I never made love to you. That I'm damaged goods and I'm this and I'm incompetent and I'm a baby and I'm a boy and all. I could say a lot of things about you, but I don't. But I don't. And so I'm angry that I treated you better than you treated me. How dare you do this to me? How dare you do this to me when I didn't deserve this? And I loved your little funky tail better than someone else. I loved you better than you should. You had 500 credit, and I gave you a money with a 2.5 interest rate, but you really shouldn't got any money. Or at least you should have been paying 25% a month, right? Because you don't pay your bills back. Come on now. I loved you better than you deserve. And then you turn around and treat the MVP. You gonna break up with LeBron James, Oprah Winfrey? You gonna break up with Rihanna? Come on now, you gonna drop Rihanna from the regular level. But I carry this whole thing. Have you ever been there? How dare you? How dare you? We need that because our self-esteem is coming back. Our self-esteem is saying, hey, I don't deserve this. The worst place we can be is when we languish and say, hey, I just deserve this. This is how it's going to be. A piece of a man is better than nothing. A woman that goes off on you and disrespects you is worth, 5 days out of 30 of where she loves you or leaves you alone. She's not me. No, it's not, fam. That's not love. That's abuse. And there's a lot of sisters out there, you've been through some things, or you just need to have some temperance and realize that men have feelings too, and it goes both ways with the ladies, right? Are y'all saying, how dare he? Who do you think you are? Do you know who I am? You should be angry. You know me. You know how many women want to be with me? I know y'all say light skin is out, but light skin is in with a lot of sisters. You feel what I'm saying? Right? I know I'm playing around here, but how dare you disrespect me, not value me when I'm up here praying for you and changing my life for you and supporting you. But man, I have a dream and ambition. If it doesn't align with what you want, you ain't rocking with it. Come on now. Come on. Where they do that? Where they do that in a functional relationships. All right. And then number six, initial acceptance. So after we go through the angry process, right? Because now we're starting to get us back and we're able to lead to proactive change and say, you know what? This relationship might have ended, right? It's like, I'm holding up my end of the breakup. Initial acceptance is like sometimes it comes early. It's like I'm going with this breakup only because you broke up with me. Or you gave me no choice but to break up with you because being with you is pain. Being with you is being broke on purpose. I'm not saying I can't stand the rain, but like we win we get 1,000, you gamble 1,500. Right? We together, I say go get some go get some help for your drinking problem, and you don't, you double down on the drinking. I set up Substance Abuse Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, AA for you, and you don't show up. I'm in the support group by myself, right? I'm going to the support groups. You're not even going doing the work. And you don't believe in counseling, but you believe in coming home and acting out in the way you act out. Come on. Now, I'm only gonna hold this into the bargain because you want to, because I still was staying it dysfunctionally. And so that's initial acceptance, right? But after a while, you'll start to realize and set boundaries that it's not good for me to try anymore. It's not good for me to be in this relationship anymore. It's not good for me. Like, even though this is gonna mean I'm gonna have to split my 401k and tell the church and tell mom and tell the kids and be single and grab this phone and change my relationship status so that people can say what happened and deal with that rigmarole. But I'm starting to realize that this is not good for me. I don't want a mediocre marriage. I don't want a marriage where I can't be someone can't trust. I can't be they can't be trusted. I don't want to be in a relationship where we can't build and stack and grow. I don't want to be in a relationship where you still where we were in high school or 10 years ago. You don't want to build and you don't want to grow and I want to build and grow. I'm tired of carrying someone's dreams. I'm tired of a negative person with me. I'm tired of someone who doesn't have any energy. I'm tired of someone that won't go to the gym, knowing that we say we want to live a long life. I don't want to take care of you because you neglect your health when I'm taking care of mine. I don't want to do those things. I don't. I don't want you to have half my retirement when you are not working on purpose. Right? I get the online business. I get entrepreneurship, but how long does a brother or sister have to carry you before you say, "Hey, I tried. Let me go back and get a full-time job and work on my entrepreneurship piece before, after, and on my lunch hour." Come on now. Right. Mimi said it right. It's the detachment process. It's a detachment process. Right. And so when we look at initial acceptance, and then we get to the seventh step, the final steps, and this is redirected hope. And this is where, as acceptance deepens, moving forward, feelings of hope, you have the idea that you have the control to exit a failed relationship, be okay with your ex, not be permanently angry with them, and then redirect your hope to someone new. This is what Sierra. Y'all know I always come with the notes, y'all. I don't ever just talk to y'all. Not to say ever, but I rarely talk to y'all about talking my don't about how to heal without facts and without clinical data, y'all. Without clinical data, I'm not going to do that to you. That's going to be that's my niche. Is I want to give you tools that you can use and you be able to understand this, right? And even if y'all watching this, you can drop this in the chats for other people to be able to see these steps that I'm going to recap for you. But this is where you have hope. This is where you can say, you know what? The fact that I dated someone and they were not very considerate. And they did have some trauma. To her credit, she had a lot of trauma in her life. And so when I say how I felt, she wouldn't be able to empathize because feelings scared her. Like she was detached from her emotions, right? And so there was only so close she could let people get because relationships equal pain. But when I would pour out my heart about what she needed, she would just look at me like, "Are you done? Are you finished?" It's like, what? That's all we are. That's all we are. And so I realized if I want someone who's empathetic, if I want someone who's compassionate, if I want someone who's willing to go through thick and thin and say, "Baby, I need you." If I need that, y'all can tell from my personality, I might be a wee bit dramatic. Y'all can tell that I need you to say, "Baby, I rock with you. I need you. I can't breathe without you." If I'm saying that, why you not saying that? Right? Why we not desperate in love, madly in love together? Why we not in the middle of this junk together? But we say, look, we down like four flat tires. We're gonna pump these things up one by one, put the work in, and build our relationship back, a la Jay Z and Beyonce. Let's take what's broken and let's do some real work and let's fix it. All right, I deserve that. Come on now, how many of you deserve that? So, if I can just operate in the prophetic, God will not spare us agony. God will not fail to prune the bush if it has no ability to grow and be prosperous. He will cut a wild bush. And some of us have been with some wild partners. Sometimes it's been us who've been wild and the relationship ended because it was going to be harmful to ourselves, to our partners. There was no way that it had foundation to be built. And there are times in which you have prayed for a better relationship. You pray for happiness. You pray for health. You pray for the ability to partner on wealth. You pray for teamwork. You pray for guilt. You pray for a prayer partner. You pray for fairness. You pray for honesty. You pray for fidelity. You're even okay to deal with a problem if you could just be honest, brother or sister. You pray for that. And you prayed and you pray this relationship will get better. You don't want to do 27 days of good and 3 days of just awful, where it's better. I'm better off not in this relationship because how you feel. Yeah, I won't have the highs, but these lows are lower than I could ever experience by myself. I would never do myself like that ever. I would never do that to myself. Right. And so what happens is that God has to demolish it. Like you think about real estate building up, he has to demolish the structure, right? Because that's what you're praying for. You're praying for, oh Lord, give me the kind of, give me a better marriage. Well, sometimes a better marriage is a different husband. Sometimes a better marriage is a different wife. And I know y'all saying, whoa, doc, I thought you were Christian. I thought you said, you didn't get married to get divorced. All right. But the reality is, like, if are we gonna do a godly marriage? Are we gonna submit one to another? Are we gonna be kind to one another? Are we gonna be loving? Are we gonna think of one another equally? Or are we just gonna be savage and take 10, 12 years off my life? Where does it say do that in the Bible? Right? Read Ephesians, you read Ephesians 20, 5:22, I believe, and just read on through 37, you're able to see, Paul's commandments for how marriage is. And y'all know what it feels like. Y'all know. Let me go ahead. Let me be Sierra and be with Russell, and then we have books together and stuff like that, and grow. And or if it's Barack and Michelle, we go through some hard times, we work it out, and look at we on top of the world, best-selling authors, first lady of the United States, president of the United States, highly regarded, both of them. Can we do that? Can we do that? So during this phase, I want you to understand that God will not spare you the demolition, so that then, because what you declared you want something better, and God said, okay, I'm gonna give it to you. Bang! Let me bust up, let me demolish what you're currently in, because it has no ability to give you what you want. So I'm gonna demolish it, and then you're feeling shell shock. You're like, because you went from bad to worse. All right, but God said, well, this ain't it. Let me demolish it. And then the next thing that He did, all right, after demolishing, is that now, so you've declared, then it was demolition. Now we're developing. All right. Now we're developing the skills. Now we're finding our boundaries. Now we're picking better. Now we're dating slower. Now we're having higher standards. Now we're changing. If we're the one that ruined the relationship or sabotaged or co-participated in it, right? We're co-conspirators. Are these conspirators? Let me fix myself. Let me change myself. Let me work through some things. All right. I'm developing the skills, right? To pick better, to be better, right? And then I'm able to grow and get better. Now I'm developing, I'm getting better, right? So our relationship, I'm finding someone, and now we're developing into the couple that fits declaration. And now this demonstration. So now there's the demonstration. So now the building is all the way up. Like, we've demonstrated, we followed the plans, we developed, like, so we declared, then here comes demolition. All right. And then we developed, we got better, right? And now there's demonstration. So now there's demonstration of everything that we prayed for. Here's the man. Here's Russell Wilson right here. Here's Sierra right here. Here's the new man you're getting ready to have. Here's the new woman you're getting ready to have. Here's a new job you're getting ready to have. Right now, you went through the stressful part, right? You went through the stressful part, but now we're in development, and God says He never seen the righteous forsaken, right? So if we're doing the right thing, we're coming at it, and we're doing this thing, right? We're doing this thing. We're doing the best that we possibly can. We're doing the best that we possibly can. All right, then God's going to bless you. Now, it doesn't mean that everyone's going to be in a relationship. It's going to help you heal and realize, you know what? I didn't have to stay in something toxic. I wanted to give myself a chance and allow God to bless me, whether it's abundance of friends, abundance of colleagues, abundance of dates. Because we forget that being single doesn't mean that you're lonely. That means it's just maybe a process of dating until you marry, if you want to marry. Come on, can we keep it real? Not everyone wants to get married, right? If you want some extra resources on this, y'all, check out my courses, drtartt.com /courses. There's one on dating for single women specifically. There's one on boundaries, and there's one on grief and loss, right? Y'all see the combination of those things. Get all three if you want. Get the bundle, right? I just want to give y'all that as a resource. But I hope y'all are getting this today. And I hope y'all are getting this today, right? And I want y'all to subscribe, right? I want y'all to subscribe to the channel. I want y'all to just say, hey, I like this. I want more of this. Send me I tell you, when y'all send me stuff, on YouTube, and you say, do a topic on this, or wherever it is, or you're watching this, I tend to do it. I tend to look at it and say, all right, I'm gonna do it. All right, so to recap, all right, here are the 10 things that you need to do to heal from heartbreak. Three, we need to stay away from personalizing, stay away from making this thing pervasive, spreading, metastasizing to every area of your life. And then we need to stay away from this being permanent. And so the opposite of that is that this is not personal to me. All right. This is specific to the other person or the old me. Right. This is not pervasive. This is local. This is specific time. And this is not permanent. Tough times are not going to last always. I don't have to always be in heartache. All right. And then the 7 stages of grief, which, based on detachment, based on a breakup. All right. Desperate for answers. Then we go through denial. Right? How can this happen to me? Is this happening? Bargaining, Lord, just change it. I'll be better. All right, I'll do what you say. I'll be quiet. I'll shut up and dribble. Right? 4, relapse, going back into something dysfunctional, even if it's the thought in our mind versus actually doing it, or if we do it, give yourself grace. It's hard to let go of someone you've been with for a long time, or even someone for a short time. If the emotions were high, this is something that you wanted, and finally it's what I want, and you take it away from me. All right, it's like getting a meal and you had two bites and someone takes it away. You be ready to fight. You be bows, right? All right. And then anger. Right? Just think about it. Like I was fine. I was suffering before, but when you gave it to me, I tasted it and then you took it away. That's cruel and unusual punishment. Right. And then there's anger. That's a good place to be, even though it's very stressful. Right. And I'm angry. Don't try to work yourself around it. Don't suppress it. Don't try to drink around it. Don't have any negative habits. Let that anger out. Like I'm mad. How dare you? Whether you're journaling, whether you're telling your friends, whether you're telling him or her, whether you're doing it on social media, whatever, I'm mad, right? I'm upset. I wouldn't do it on social media because there's another brother and that sister might be watching and be like, dang, they angry. They're cute, but they angry, right? And then initial acceptance, all right? All right. Well, all right, let's see. I'm only dealing with this because you said it. I'm gonna roll with this, and then you get to the point of redirected hope where you realize, no, we need this. This needed to come to an end. I didn't realize it then, but I realized that what I was praying for, you could never be. We could never have what I want to have. I just had to settle. I just had to settle. And I didn't want to settle. Right? I don't want to settle. If I can't have a real deal, if I can't stay in the Four Seasons, I don't want to go on vacation. If I can't fly Delta, I don't want to fly Spirit. I know it was a shot at Spirit, but whatever. I don't want to fly Southwest. I want to fly Delta. I want to fly first class. If I'm gonna have my dream trip, I want to do Delta One. How many of y'all? If I want to get married, I want the shrimp with the Dijon mustard. I don't want little hamburger finger sandwiches. I don't want that. All right, we're gonna have love. I want this to be even. I want you to get my back and I get your back. And when we go through rough times, we have open and honest conversations with one another. And the amount of sacrifice I do for you, you do for me. You think of me the way I think for you. You rock my birthday as hard as I rock your birthday. We do the same thing. Come on, can we talk about it? Don't want to settle. And so I want you to understand that God knows where you are. He hasn't forgotten about you. Right? In this pain and this anger is exactly where you need to be right now. Right, and I'm not saying I'm happy that you're there. I'm not happy there. At times it was very stressful, but when I look at it now, right, and I look at where my life is, and I look at where your life is, and I look at where your life is going. I want you to do something called backwards induction. If you fast forward to the end of your movie, and then you go back and write this chapter, so I'm gonna visually demonstrate it. So like the end of the book is here, but then you're gonna go back here and write the book. So right now I've just broken up with so and so and it's not going well. And I'm feeling all these 7 stages and maybe some of these 3 Ps. I'm personalizing, I'm making it pervasive and permanent. But let me go ahead and get a renewing of the mind, right? And let me think about this and reset this. And God sent this video to me for a reason, or you sent this to someone for a reason. And this is resonating. This brother's speaking to me through God. You may not even be a believer, right? And he's saying, all right, this is helping me to feel better. And now I realize that what I wanted could never be the situation that I was in. Or if you mess it up, that God gives us a second and a third chance. He said his son, his only begotten son that died on the cross for the forgiveness of our sins. We may not be able to forgive ourselves. You might let the one get away. You might be in a situation where you poo-poo the situation, where you let the family get away and you have to deal with a situation. But you know what? God still loves you. God cares for you, right? He loves you, right? And whatever the situation, you might have been the MVP. He's not gonna have the MVP. Oprah eventually gets her deal. Oprah eventually moves out of a bad deal and opens up her network. All right. Russell's able to move out of a toxic relationship. At the same time, Sierra's moving, and lo and behold, they gravitate. Fantasia doesn't have to sing about being in love the whole time. She gets to be able to have her lover too. All right. And those are all real people. Right. And that's going to be you. Right. And then you see the work that God is doing. God, I see what you might be doing. You had to get me out of a situation. You had to demolish it simply so that I could grow. So listen, I love y'all. I care for you all. Let me pray. Lord God, I ask and pray for everyone dealing with heartbreak and breakup, Lord. And I thank you, Lord, for allowing me to feel better because you know I was damn bad this morning. But thank you, Lord, for giving me the energy and doing this video for my brothers and my sisters, Lord, to allow them to be able to see that they can heal from heartbreak, that they can be well, and that sometimes you break certain things that have no capacity to meet their dreams, and that you are a dream answerer, and that you are a deliverer, and that you are an answered prayer, Lord. So we ask and pray, Lord, that you allow them to be able to understand these processes, not go to the darkness, be able to see the light, and be able to grow. These things we ask in Jesus' holy name. Amen. I love you guys. Take care. Be blessed.